Hey everyone. So this is going to be something different from me. I'm not going to talk about mortgages or housing. Personally, I am a huge Will Smith fan. Will is one of my all-time favorite actors, definitely top three for me. The Fresh Prince back in the day, Bad Boys, I Am Legend. He just does everything so well. Ali, King Richard. Very few movies have I ever seen him in that I have not loved. I've also really enjoyed, listening to his motivational speeches, different talks that he's done on fear, on fault versus responsibility. And he's someone who, I really have looked up to because of what he's been through, where he's been able to go, what he's been able to do, and what he stands for. And so, what happened last night at the Academy Awards? I don't watch that. I don't know how those shows normally go, but I obviously saw the video, and it's going to be here in my video. And I thought it was a joke. I was like, there's no way that Will Smith would do that. There's no way he would go and physically get violent and assault Chris Rock. Like, Chris Rock's a comedian. Like, they're both funny. Kind of assume that maybe they might be cool with each other. So the fact that it was a real slap, that it was serious, very surprised. It's a joke. It was a highly inappropriate and uncalled for joke. But man, comedians joke about stuff that's inappropriate and uncalled for all the time. If you like Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart, literally any comedian, there's very few that have ever made their living without talking about things that are off limits or crossing, what is supposed to be a normal line of, areas you don't make jokes about, and they do. It's what they do. So definitely I was really surprised. So, but let's go ahead and take a look at the video and see for yourself. Man, that was wild. That was intense. And I know Will later in the night on his acceptance speech for winning his first Academy Award for Best Actor, he said that love will make you do some crazy things, and that's definitely true. Can't argue with that. But you know, I don't know. I don't think that's the right thing to do. So I just want to share a quote from Will Smith that has been very much a foundation of how I've built my business. And it's talking about fault versus responsibility. So, in this, he says it doesn't matter whose fault it is that something is broken. It's your responsibility to fix it. It's not somebody's fault if their father was an abusive alcoholic, but it's damn sure their responsibility to figure out how that they're going to deal with those traumas and make a life out of it. It's not your fault if your partner cheated on you and ruined your marriage, but it's damn sure your responsibility to figure out how to take that pain and how to overcome that and build a happy life for yourself. He says that fault and responsibility, they don't go together. It sucks. And when something is somebody's fault, you want them to suffer. You want them to be punished. We want them to pay. And we want it to be their responsibility to fix it, but it's not how it works. So as long as we're pointing the finger, we're jammed and trapped into victim mode. And when you're in victim mode, you are stuck in suffering. The road to power is in taking responsibility. Your heart, your life, your happiness. And I love that. I love it. Unfortunately, Will's a person just like everybody else. He's got his good days, he's got his bad days, and yesterday was definitely not one of his best days. And I feel bad for him, actually. I'm disappointed, definitely, but I feel bad for him. And I can't help but to think that over the past few years, all the stuff that's come out with his marriage and relationship with his wife and her entanglements and cheating on him and everything, which is kind of crazy to me. But it is what it is. And unfortunately, I have a feeling that maybe he let his ego and trying to portray himself in a certain way for her make him do something that could have costed him dearly. Thankfully for him, Chris Rock is not going to be filing, assault charges with the police. And I mean, that would be a slam dunk, open and shut case. I mean, millions of people saw it. It's on national television of him assaulting somebody. So there's no question that what he did was not only wrong, but it was illegal. And that's sad. I heard a take on it from a teacher today, a teacher that teaches at an inner city school in a alternative school, a school for kids that have been kicked out of, the regular school system. And he talked about that, as a role model like Will Smith is, that, it puts him as a teacher of kids that are on a second chance already in a really difficult position. Because every single day these kids are getting bullied and being bullies, but every day there's the your mama jokes. There's the making fun of and saying things about your family, your friends, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whoever it may be. There's always those insults, the disrespect that's coming there. And teachers across the United States of America, not only in alternative schools, but in regular schools, have to teach students that, look, you have to be the bigger person. Violence doesn't solve anything. Will Smith didn't solve anything. Last night he might made his wife happy for the moment. He might have made some women out there wish that their man would go fight somebody, if they were disrespected, but it could have cost him so much. He's a famous person. A regular guy walking down the street with his woman and some random person says something and then you go and hit them. I mean, one, they're probably not going to just take it like Chris Rock did, and then, I mean, Chris Rock's a little guy. Will Smith's not a little guy. I mean, it begs the thought to me of, if there was a different man that goes by The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, had made a joke like that, I mean, would Will Smith go up there and assault him? Yeah, I would think not. So, a regular person walking down the street, you don't know. Does the person that just said that have a gun? I mean, are they in a gang looking to get initiated and hoping you start something with them? Are you going to risk the ability to provide for your family, your freedom, to go hit somebody because of an inappropriate comment, and in this case was a joke? Although a very poorly tasted joke, very poor taste. Don't want that to get confused. But we can't live life like that. So I feel bad for the teachers that are having to, have conversations with students today of, hey, yeah, Will Smith's this amazing guy. Everybody loves him, except for Chris Rock. He's rich. There's no consequences so far to what he did. And don't do what he did. Do what we tell you on a day-to-day basis. That's not a fun conversation, and I don't envy them at all for that. I myself coached youth football for 7+ years. Loved doing that, and there's a lot of the boys that I coach that I still keep in contact with them or their families. And a lot of the boys, came from fatherless homes, just being raised by their mother, and me and the other coaches were the role models that they had. So we wanted to be more than just a football coach to them. We wanted to be a mentor to them, someone that they can look up to, someone that they can trust. And I mean, anyone that's ever plays any organized sports, that the insults, the name calling, the teasing, all of that is part of sports, and I mean, I've known some amazing guys that I've played with or played against that their game was to get you in your head and get you angry so that you would mess up and make mistakes. And I mean, how did they do that? With insults. I mean, I can't say that it never happened to me, because it did happen to me. I fell victim to that. I was dumb and wanted to fight somebody because of things that he was saying on a football field, and he got me out of my game and he won. I let him win because I couldn't control myself. So coaching young boys, young men, and trying to be an example to them and try to guide them in what's right, And the fact that, hey man, when someone says like your mom is so this, that, or whatever, or your girlfriend is so this, that, or whatever, like, dude, let it go. It's not worth it. They're not worth it. There's nothing that's worth that. And the simple fact is that one day you will be an adult where there will be real consequences. And so when you want to go run up on somebody and start a fight over something stupid like that, what do you stand to lose? Okay, so what are you going to lose? You're going to lose your freedom. So I'm disappointed very much in Will. I feel bad for him in ways because I think this is out of character for him. And my personal view is that the things that he's had to deal with his wife over the past however many years have affected him. And for that, I my heart goes out to him, and I have sympathy for him. And I hope that he can make amends with Chris Rock, and I hope Chris Rock can apologize and let him know, like, yeah, it was a bad taste joke, but that there was nothing that was ill will behind it, because I don't think that there was anything that was ill will behind it. And I mean, if you're someone that's watching this video or that's watched Will Smith, take a swing and assault, is what he did, Chris Rock, and you're like, yeah, I want my man to do that. Do you want your kid to do that? Do you want your kid when they're an adult to do that? Do you want your son to do that? Is that the type of person that you want him to be? Do you want him to risk his future, risk his freedom, risk his ability to provide, to be a man, just so that your ego can feel better? So life's not easy. And like Will Smith said, it doesn't matter whose fault it is. All that matters is taking responsibility. And nobody else can take responsibility for what you do. Only you can. So hopefully this has been insightful, let you know a little bit more about me and who I am, and not just mortgages and real estate. Love to hear your thoughts and opinions, so definitely comment below. And we'll see how this thing plays out. Have a good night.